Hey, good morning, everyone. Just want to make sure that everybody's able to hear Tammy and I. We're still kind of playing with StreamYards. We're new at it. We're used to Ecamm, we're used to Zoom and everything else. Just want to make sure that everybody can hear us, can see us. Just give us a yes on the chat. Yes, you can hear us. Yes, you can see us. That would be super, super helpful. I know that there's always a bit of a lag of about 10 seconds or so. And I think we should be good. I think we should be good. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, thank you, Pat. Appreciate that. Thank you, Russ. Hey, guys, thank you so much for attending our training this morning. And before we begin, I just want to do a bit of a summary of what we've been doing in the past. Tammy and I, for those of you that don't know us, have been in network marketing arena for, my God, well over 28 years, at least myself, over 28 years full time, at least 28 years. Tammy, I know is right behind me. It's either 25 or 26. I know we're very close. And we actually met in the industry. So this industry has really made a huge change in our life when it comes to our partnership, when it comes to our finances, when it comes to our lifestyle, when it comes to the impact we've made within our social network and our ecosystem. It's been absolutely wonderful. And the fact here is, go back to what we've done in the past is we've done some trainings. We started with small groups as we started getting involved with GotBackup and so forth. And then Joel, came here, and in fact, we were chatting and said, "Chris, would you open your trainings to the entire team?" It's absolutely, because again, as I always say, the binary portion of our income with the the compensation plan is the backbone, or I like to recall it a retirement plan, as we're building our business, which we're getting paid on the first way and the second way. Again, I'm not getting into the comp plan training here, but the point here, folks, is if everybody does well, obviously the pool that calculates the value of a cycle affects every single one of us. So it doesn't matter if you're in our team or not in our team. You are part of our team as as a whole. And this is why, Tammy and I always think that way. And it's been wonderful karma for us in training everybody. And folks, understand that there is no one team. What makes a company very successful is many, many teams that are actually succeeding. That's what makes a company successful. Not one team, but many teams that are thriving. And we want everybody to thrive because we're all dipping within the same pot to benefit from the backbone of our compensation plan. Now, last week we did a training that was called, what was it called, Tammy? The Prospecting Mastery. Mm-hmm. Right. And the prospecting aspect is, this is when you meet someone for the first time. This is usually very cold. It could be online. It could be a coworker that maybe you haven't really known, or whatever the situation may be. It's more like before the dating stage. It's like the initial conversation. Now we're moving into the second stage of what we call the success cycle series, which is inviting. And we want to share with you some of the basic concepts that we believe are very important. And we believe that strongly because Tammy and I have absolutely made a fortune in network marketing. And folks, you don't need to spend a lot of money to reach the top rank with GotBackup. What you need to do is show up to the trainings that the leadership are provided to you, such as this one here today, because we're going to give you all the basics that you need to apply for you to have success into your business. At the end of the day, we can bring you to the water, but you have to choose to drink it, if you understand what I mean. But we will give you the information, but you need to act on it. So tell me, before I start the slides, did you want to add something else to this?
I always say, let's just jump right in and get started. If you could show the slides, Chris. Yeah, the slideshow here.
Okay, what's going on here? Here we go. Let's pick the right one.
Exactly. So, I mean, this is an extremely important part of the training, because if we're not out there every single day connecting with people and inviting them to come and look at the information, we're not in business. That's the bottom line. So we need to focus on what to say, especially if you're brand new in this industry. And I always say, just be yourself and just learn along the way. And we're going to give you some tips, some ideas, some scripts that you can follow but you want to make sure that you're not like a robot, It's funny because people come into network marketing and they start talking to people and they get really strange. Even my friends, when I came into network marketing, because you're being trained and there's scripts available, and you start following these scripts, and your friends are going, they're not used to having a conversation with you about a script. So it's to be able to connect with people and just be yourself. That's one of my biggest tips of the day. But let's get started in the training, Chris, because we're going to give them lots of insights.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I just wanted to, first of all, say hi to Pat, Rejoice, and Bill from London, Ontario, Russ, and Paul, and Roland from Ghana, Rejoice, and Odo, and Esther from Ghana, Robert, Maximo, Evan. Let's see here. I'm just trying to recognize everybody here. Samuel, Rachel, Dugaru, Lawrence, and Tessa, and Rachel. I know Rachel, getting late for you in Malaysia. Thank you so much for always being part of these trainings. And folks, at the end of the day, what happens in your activities? I call it money-making activities. That's prospecting and inviting and follow up, which is what we will be doing next week. And follow up goes into two segments we'll cover the next 2 weeks: following up and third-party credibility. Now, the thing is, prospecting, as I mentioned, we talked about, that's the initial connection. Inviting, that's when there's a bit of a chemistry going on there in many different aspects, and based on the goal that you're trying to invite someone for. But that's when you go through the process of inviting someone to watch something, to try something, to view something, to attend an event, whatever this may be, that's what we're going to be talking about today. And some of the examples we're going to talk about are not things that are written on stone, folks. They're just examples for you to kind of measure a little bit of, okay, what should you say? But we're not telling you to say exactly that, because again, we're human beings and people will relate to the way you communicate and the words you use and how you tend to share information with others. So we just want to give you guidelines. So that's the invitation process. And then the follow-up, as I mentioned earlier. And you'll notice the word trust. And that's what's so important in doing these three major aspects of what we call money-making activities. Because when you talk to someone for the very first time about GotBackup, there's going to be skepticism. There's going to be some people that say, oh, I don't need this, so I'm using this, I'm using that. This is one is free. And so why do we need to invite? Because we will share more information to educate them on the benefit of what we have to offer compared to our competitors. And the follow-up is to kind of build up on it. And that's what builds the trust. So you want to engage your associates, your customers, to go a little further to understand better what we're all about. That's why these activities are very, very important.
And mindset is everything. We'll share that in every single training that we do. What you think about comes about. What you speak about, you'll attract into your life. And whatever energy you put towards it, that's what you're going to get out of it. So in our business, we want to be people magnets. We want to attract leadership types. We want to attract people that are go-getters, that are super driven, that are excited, that show up, that have leadership skills. That's what you want to start putting into your head and start speaking it out loud. I'm telling you, when you do that, it's so interesting what happens when you get out there and meeting people, whether it's belly to belly, whether it's on social media, you'll all of a sudden start attracting a better quality of people. And be careful the words that you say, because some people have said to me, well, the people in my social environment are not interested in this stuff. Bang, right? So you have to change that mindset and start attracting it in your mind first, and start speaking it out loud, you guys. This stuff works when you start applying it on a daily basis. You're at the beginning, it's going to be strange, right? Because we have habits that we have to break. And when you're in the moment, this is when you have all your power. Okay. So when you're in the moment and you catch yourself saying something that's not serving you in your invitations, in your prospecting, and your follow-ups, if it's not serving you, change the words. I'm telling you, It'll change everything for you. Just this one part will change everything for you in your business.
I totally agree, Tammy. And as we keep moving forward here, folks, is again not to repeat, but the mindset is the foundation of your results. What you think about, expand. Be mindful of what you think about when you are trying to accomplish something. Because I'm telling you, the power of the mind, it's one of our most powerful tools. It's the reason why we're the only creature on planet Earth that has evolved the way we have evolved. We have such a powerful tool. Do not underestimate the power of it. Understanding that we barely use 10% of it. I wonder what that 90% can do as we evolve. The point here, folks, is I think that the mindset is the foundation of the future. Work on that. Just like you go to the gym or you brush your teeth on a daily basis. You got to do this on a regular basis to be able to brush off the garbage that we're constantly exposed to on a daily basis. Stay positive. Focus on what you want and not what you don't want. And then you'll have the life that you want, opposed to the life that you have to live. So, how do we invite people? That's what we want to talk about. What are different aspects? So, what Tammy and I are going to share with you are some examples on how to invite people.
Yeah, and that's always a big question. Often people ask us that question, how do we invite people? And that could be a stopper if they don't reach out, if they don't show up to the trainings. It's going to be a stopper for them in building this business. So make sure any of your team members that have not shown up to today's class, they get this recording, because you want your team members to constantly be inviting people. And the big thing is not take anything personal, because sometimes it's not the good time for people, right? So keep it simple. Write that down. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. So many people complicate things in life, and we all know that everybody's busy. If you talk to anybody, everybody's busy. So the simpler you keep this, you have to remember it's got to be doable for them. They don't care how much you know. What they care about is, can they do it? Understand that it's not all about the knowledge, and you know, we keep everything simple, although we know quite a bit now about GotBackup, right? So what's simple? 6 terabytes. Competitors 2 terabytes. 997. That's an easy thing to say. 6 family members on one account. Unlimited devices. And yeah, less than $10. That's as simple as it is. And this is all that I've been doing with everybody that I know. Once I have that initial connection with them, for them to want to listen to what I have to say. Keep it simple, you guys. Absolutely, Evans.
I totally agree, Evans. And this is the thing, folks. We tend to overcomplicate things. That's what humans do. And you've got to be mindful of that. Keep it simple. People are not interested in complicated stuff. They don't want more drama in their lives. They're looking for more goods in their lives. And that's why when you talk about the benefits for the same price, and people, you know, may not always tell you what they're thinking, but everybody is exposed to this to this marketing campaign from Apple and Google. And I know I'm using a site called Wix, and they're constantly hounding me to get more space for Google Drive because it's connected, right? And then I have Dropbox that keeps constantly hounding me to upgrade the service I have to be more business so I can pay more money. Everybody. And then there's Adobe that says, hey, by the way, you take some pictures. Do you want more space and cloud? Everybody, it's just nonstop. It's going to grow. So people are dealing with this, and it's getting expensive. I just find out recently that Apple, to have 6 terabytes, will charge their clients $30 a month. I mean, think about this. So, folks, what's going on is we're offering something that will reduce the cost. We're not necessarily better than all of them, but I assure you that none of them pay you money to promote it. And as GotBackup becomes a brand name, just like Dropbox took 10 years to get into momentum, and I'm not saying that's going to take us the same time, But the fact here is you're comparing a giant that's been around for like 14 years, 15 years or so. Got Backup started not even a year ago, that segment of GVO. And eventually, folks, I always tell people, think about these are things, rules of inviting. This is what's in the back of my mind as I'm telling people. Well, Dropbox does this and this does that, and Microsoft does this and they offer that. But do they pay you? Are they going to make the slightest difference in your budget to feed your family? Not even close. Got Backup will do that and then some. And we evolve. So rules of inviting is don't get attached to the outcome. If someone doesn't see it, it's okay. Don't try to get into a debate and try to be right. Simply educate. They're not interested. I assure you that someone else will be. Right? And be yourself. I mean, touched on that earlier. Don't try to pretend to be someone else. Right away, their flag comes up. What are you trying to sell me? What are you trying to sell me? Just be yourself. You know, you're very impressed with the fact that you have 3 times the data to back up, and you can have multiple devices. For example, just this morning, as we were preparing for these trainings, I was changing some files that are in my desktop directory to my download directory, which is connected to this PC, different computer. I'm talking to you where I do all my work is on a Mac, and I keep hearing these little sounds saying, "Oh, the file has been transferred. Oh, the file's been transferred." I just love the set and forget. So again, share your enthusiasm, just like I did. You see, I'm giving you a prime example of a benefit that I really adore that GotBackup has. In fact, as of this morning, I have my virtual assistant that's changing all my links that are pointing to Dropbox to GotBackup. So everybody that needs to access whatever data we have, whatever files we have sitting on the cloud, now I made an exact mirror copy to GotBackup. I'm giving you examples that feeds my enthusiasm about what we have to offer, right? So, and you have to be strong and confident. If you show weakness, people will feed on that. So that's why sometimes the person with more experience will have more results, not because necessarily better than you. It's because they have more confidence that you may have at the moment, which portray that kind of that posture that is needed for someone to convert or someone to consider what you have to say. And invite everyone. Don't prejudge. Don't think that, oh, this person has this person has that, this person has all the money in the world. I assure you that if someone makes a lot of money, especially in today's economy, I assure you that are facing some huge adversities that it was not there 2-3 years ago. And you're looking for different stream of income. And something else I just want to mention is GotBackup is working on their crypto segment where you'll be able to get paid in crypto currency, again, based on the blockchain you choose to use. My point here is a lot of people like me are looking for the kind of different kind of projects that can feed projects I'm invested in that gives me passive income every month. Okay, you see what I'm doing right now? I'm sharing with you the enthusiasm I have with what GotBackup has to offer that none of the competitors offers, not even close. So no wonder I tend to attract people that are influencers because I have posture. And that's my message in sharing this with you here is these are the rules of inviting to get the results that you're looking for. Back to you, Tammy.
And remember, when you're new, it takes time to build that posture. So don't beat yourself up along the way. And I always say, never, ever compare yourself to somebody else because everybody's building this at a different level. And some people, they just don't have the luxury of time to do this. You know, I always use single moms as an example. You know, when you have a job and then you got young children and it's, they can't put in the efforts that somebody who doesn't have any children that may not have a job or only have a part-time job. So please never prejudge or never compare yourself ever, ever, ever. You do what you can with what you have and do a little bit more. When you say I can't do another one, do one more, do 2 more. And you'll see you'll build up momentum quicker and excitement quicker for sure. Okay, so here's some inviting scripts. Anybody who knows me, I'm not a script person. But often people say, well, just some guidelines on some things that we could say. Well, I just started working with a US based company. For Canadians, that's a big thing, you guys, because everybody loves US
Yeah,
dollars in
of course.
Canada because of the value. Okay. So that is a big uh, eye opener, and it catches people's attention in our market here in Canada for sure. It might not be something you want to say in your market. You need to make that decision. They have a service everyone needs. We all know that. And everyone can afford this, no matter where they live in the world. Everybody can afford this. When you get excited about that, they get excited about it. Remember, your excitement will, what do you call that? Transfer into them, right? Yeah. I can't find my word this morning. And I'm sure that you're going to know people. I'm sure you're going to know people that are going to want to know about this. And you get excited about that. Just you can use an example of some of the stuff that you've done. Yeah, like your story matters, right? Bring your story into this stuff and don't just think of, oh, what's that point I got to think about? Just communicate with people. Go back and forth in conversation rather than presentation mode when you're in front of people. Be in conversation mode. It has to go back and forth, and you have to give them what they're looking for. Okay. So that's the big thing. And then what's really important, once you create that excitement, that you're going to send them a short, always say short video, guys, because people are busy. If you say, I'm just going to send you a video, they may not take the time. But if you say short video, they're going to take the time. And I even get them to do it now. I say, hey, are you in front of the computer now, or you're in front of your phone now? I just sent you the link. Can you check it out now, and I'll call you back in 10 minutes. I try to engage people immediately because I know people are busy. So the more you do that, the better results you're going to get. Ask them how they'd like to receive the information. Uh, for me, I like WhatsApp. That's the platform I use. But I might be talking to somebody who prefers Messenger or prefers me to send them a quick email or a text. So be prepared. All these scripts, are on the boards. You don't even have to think of what to send. You just send what's on the boards. Obviously, add your ID number to the links and go from there. And then the next big step, you guys, which is really important, in that conversation, you need to have the next step, and that is the time to get back to them. Like I just told you, something I speed up the process. I would contact them in 10 minutes if they have 5 minutes to look at this, right? So that's what you want to do. If tomorrow they can look at it, ask them what time they're going to be able to look at it, and then just say, if I call you back, and then whatever time they say they're going to look at it at 7, if I call you back at 7:15 tomorrow night, does that work for you? And then you're keeping them accountable to check out the video. That's what you're doing. You're keeping them accountable. All right. So don't miss that one, because that's the big one. Because often people say, well, they're never home. They're never home. And I said, well, did you set it up in that call on the next step? Oh, I forgot. Don't forget this, you guys. This one's really, really important.
I totally agree. And I wanted to address a question here from Lee, because at what age can people do this opportunity? Generally, in North America, the legal age is 18 years of age, not 21. Alcohol, I understand that. But when it comes to business, it's considered 18 years of age. But the reality, folks, is use your common sense, right? You can position your children and things like that. But again, use your common sense. And I like the fact that, just a moment. It was just who mentioned 83. 80, here we go. Yeah, there we go. That was Unique Venture Income Affiliates. I wish I had your name, but this I love that, because you see, there's no maximum age, right? And the fact is, if you look at the story of Colonel Sanders, Kentucky Fried Chicken, who really started at the age of 74 or 77 or something like that. So, folks, at the end of the day, it's a mindset. It's always a mindset. Mike, I appreciate that. Thank you for putting your name there. So at the end of the day, folks, what's important to understand is there's key points to include. And Tammy talked on it. I touched on it a little bit earlier. It's a US based company. We are growing fast. Again, I like to bring back the example of Dropbox. Dropbox took about 10 years before they hit momentum. Again, I'm not saying it's going to be 10 years for us, but what they were providing as an exchange is free space for referrals. You are getting an income for free referrals. And the fact is, the cloud storage that everybody needs and everybody can afford. We're dealing in a difficult economical stage today. Maybe some of you are thriving, and that's wonderful. But not everybody is in the same boat. But the fact is, you do not need to dwell into what's not happening or what's not working, because there are options. 75%, up to 75% payout. Often I use an example. If Dropbox is at 700 million users and we're just crossing 30,000, and we already have Sapphire 1s, Sapphire 2s, these are people that have reached 5,000, 10,000. Where are we going to be when we're even 100,000 members? Do you understand? This will instill curiosity to any investors. It's a $10 price point. I understand that. But it's like coffee. If you look at the grain, it's worth nothing. But it's the number 2 commodity in the world right after this huge drama caused by oil. Right after that, coffee. Do you understand my meaning? Cloud service, it's a growing commodity, as we started talking about. So again, these are the kind of seeds that would instill curiosity to any investors or anybody who understands the big picture, that can actually see the future. Most people don't look at the future. They look at the moment now, what's happening now, and they make the decision on the now. But I can tell you that Warren Buffett, they don't think like we do. They think about tomorrow, what tomorrow's going to be. Where do I want to be placed so I can benefit for what tomorrow is going to be providing? And the tomorrow is not that far, guys. It's just around the corner. There's going to be a lot of really wealthy people that will be created in the next 3 to 5 years because of things like this. So instill curiosity by sharing the future, the vision, right? Military grade encryption, all the services, Google, Dropbox, Microsoft, and so forth, they all use the same protocol. It's a standard. It's an industry standard. We have a facility. Well, what if this increase and you guys have 10 million users? How can you support that? Well, the facility can support a harvest of server. Right now, they're barely using a portion, like not even a quarter of their space for the current server system that you have in place that can support up to 1 million users. And remember, technology evolve. The size of a server today to support 1 million is a fraction compared to what it used to be even 5 years ago. You see what's happening? We're evolving and evolving and evolving and evolving. The future is so bright. Again, are you instilling these things when you're talking to people, or you just say, well, we're a cloud service? There's so much more to it than that. And you need to pull that stuff out so people can understand the big picture. Help them see the vision by instilling the points that can really help them see the benefits for them to get involved with you.
So we want to talk about the tools. We talked about boards. Chris, if you could put the boards link into the chat so everybody can grab that doesn't have that. Some of your team members might have their own boards, which is fantastic. The key is to leverage. And that's something that Chris and I have always done with our leaders at the beginning. And then we became the leaders to create the tools for people to leverage. And why is it important? Because it's easier for you to do this, especially when you're new. It's like, oh my God, what do I say? You just go on boards and it gives you the script. All you do, copy it, send it to somebody. Just put your personal user ID into the information to make sure that they have that. You don't even need to think. You just got to leverage. This is so important. And it's time efficient, absolutely time efficient, by using and leveraging. It allows multiple views. I can connect with so many people really fast, through texting, WhatsApp. I can connect with so many people and send information so fast because of the tools. And I don't have to be on the phone with everybody, right? I'm qualifying people to work with me. That's what I'm doing every single day. Time freedom. Of course, when you can get those multiple exposures, you can create that time freedom. I say right now, don't even think of time freedom right now. You need to run with this. You need to go into some serious momentum right now, because people are going to hear of Got Backup. And, some people are like, oh, we got lots of time. No, you don't. No, you don't. Because people on your list, in your phone database, on your social media platform are going to hear about it. Why not hear about it from you first? Right? So create that sense of urgency for yourselves to get people in, okay? And get them to do the same thing. It's easily duplicatable, easily, if you're doing this consistently. It's easy to forget everything when you're not engaged, if you're not actively doing the work. And of course, it'll add credibility for you, even though you didn't create the boards or the marketing tools that the company has available. It gives you credibility, the fact that this is in place and you're going to show them how to use all this stuff. Okay. So, yeah, leverage, leverage, leverage. That's what we do in this industry.
Now, just before we shift slides, folks, the link that I posted here, the first link, which is this one here, this is the link to connect to the board. Okay. The second link, some people may not be comfortable with their apps and they don't know what to do. This one here, it will actually point you right into the board. So you can go and get the stuff right away. It gives you the online version, like the web version. The other one is to connect to it. You have to create an account. It's completely free. But again, just want to give you the distinction between those two links. And when Victory asked what ATG, Tammy just called herself Active Team Group. We've been in network marketing for decades, and that's what it is. Active Team Group. That's all there is to it. It's not pointing you to anything else other than tools, trainings, and things like that. Okay, it's not another opportunity. None of this stuff. We're focusing 100% on GotBackup and building and building, building. Of course, we do have a supplement company we've been doing for the past 16 years, but is beside the point. The fact is, we're providing you tools to build your GotBackup business. So moving on to the next slide, what's important here is okay, what's the difference that you referral in your target market? Let's talk about this. Well, you have your hot list. What is your hot list? Well, family members, close friends, classmates. Now, we all know, if you've been seasoned in this business, that often family members will not be your best supporters. In some cases, they have been. In my cases, they have been my best supporters. But in Tammy's cases, they have not. And it's okay. It doesn't mean because they don't love her, it's just the mindset is different. So just keep that in mind. But that is considered your hot list. People that you're close to, people that you don't, it's pretty easy to talk to, but often they're the one that's going to be the more critical because they know who you are. They know how you were raised. They know your strength and your failures, your weaknesses, right? All of that sometimes can play against you. But when you use the follow-up third-party credibility, and that's what we'll talk about now when we're there, it will really complement you because it's really interesting. Your relationship with the people you're close to, sometimes it will open the door to listen, but they're more critical. But they will listen to a stranger through you a lot more. But they won't listen to that stranger if they just call them out of the blue. But they will listen to a stranger through your reference. That's how the third-party credibility becomes very, very, very powerful, especially dealing with your hot list. So don't shy away from your family members because they could be your greatest supporters. You just need sometimes a little bit of help to complement what it is we're talking about.
And of course, everybody has a warm list. So make sure that you're connecting with everybody that has a cell phone. Honestly, I love GotBackup because when you talk about target market in different styles of companies, there's a certain age group in a target market, and in GotBackup, it's such a large market because everybody has cell phones and everybody is eating up their terabytes. So lots of companies are contacting them and charging them more. They have to increase. And so this is where we have a huge, huge advantage in the marketplace because of that. We have a massive target market. So definitely go through everybody that you connect with. And I think what's really, really important, we're in a relationship business, you guys. So make sure that when you do connect with people, connect with them on a personal level and not shove a business down their throat. Find out where they're at. It's all about relationships because if they like you, if they know you, it's easier. If they like you, better. And if they trust you, that's when you have them. You have them partnering with you. And I always tell people, when you're in the business and you get started, you're new, it's about you, you're alone, you're excited. But the moment you get somebody in this business, it's no longer about you anymore. It's about helping your people and making sure that they show up, make sure that they know where to get their links, go through a new associate. Like, I'm kind of adding to this, but it's important because people, they're looking for something to believe in. They really are. They're looking for something to believe in. They're looking for someone to believe in and that can get them there. So make sure that you are really strong in relationship building. That's something Chris and I have been so strong in over many, many years that when GotBackup came into play, we just made the phone call. Nobody knew anything, but just they signed up. We sent them the link. We wake up in the morning. Oh, a few people signed up. They're friends. We talked to them. They said, I have no idea what I just did, but I trust you guys. And that is what you want people to do because people buy you first. Okay.
And Pat, just as a reference, because some folks may feel the same way you do, you know, having close family does not mean always blood. Huh? Tammy and I have close family we consider as family, and they're in the Philippines, and we've known them for like 16 years. So the fact here is it doesn't have to be blood related, right? So the fact here is these are people that are close to you, that support you, that are there when nobody else is. That's what I call family. So just getting food for thought. So in moving forward here, what's really important here is use what's at your disposal, right? Social media and apps, right? Something here that I appreciate from Rob is more phones are lost, stolen, and damaged during the holiday travel. That is correct. That's true. It happens all the time. It's unfortunate, but it happens. So the fact here is, for example, some of you may do some Facebook ad campaigns. Some of you may do it organically. And the more you post and the more you share, the more people will connect with you if they're interested in what you share. These are organic leads that could actually pop in. So, oh, I've noticed you just talked about this thing, but just be careful not to always be about business. People are going to be bored with you. So you have to say, oh, by the way, I just found something that's giving me 6 terabytes instead of 2 for the same price. Oh, really? What is this? And then you can turn around and send the link privately. Don't post it, because when you post it, then there's always the haters out there that are going to use as an opportunity to take you down or to drag you down. The the crab concept, right? When one is trying to climb up, the other one's going to pull you down. It's unfortunately, it's the environment often. So that's the reason why if you come across someone interested, don't necessarily post it right for everybody to see, but share maybe a generic comment in line to that, so it doesn't look like you're hiding anything. But then private message them. Instagram, LinkedIn, you're going to find more of a professional audience. right? These are professional generally. Where Facebook, it's a bit of a jungle, the wild wild west. You'll get everybody in there, right? TikTok. I mean, again, if you learn about the Instagram and its benefits, and TikTok and its benefits, and Facebook and its benefits, and LinkedIn and its benefits, and often I talk about YouTube as being my learning go-to space, right? How do I and or what's the difference between Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and TikTok? And then you'll find some young guy or young girl that's going to talk about all the benefits and all the benefits that Facebook brings that really Instagram is not really part of the algorithm, or TikTok has a different algorithm. You'll notice that TikTok, you see a lot more things that are kind of controlled within the meta environment, which is Instagram, Facebook, and WhatsApp. So my point here is each different social media and platform and apps have different benefits that can actually serve you, right? There's Twitter, which now it's called X, right? We should probably change this because Elon Musk took over, and I think he got rid of the name Twitter to try to change the entire culture because I think there was a lot of issue going on with the transfer and so forth. And then there's YouTube, and there's YouTube Shorts, and there's Clubhouse. I mean, I don't know, we haven't been to Clubhouse for a while, but that's actually pretty cool too. I don't know if the app is still I know at one point it was getting into momentum. And of course, there's WhatsApp, there's the business version. So these are all tools that are available to you. And folks, when we talk about things like this, and it may not be in your let's say environment, don't just shy away from it. Well, say, I don't know that. That's not my generation. Don't do that. Just go and learn, because it's really not all that complicated. It's just to learn, okay, how do I dial using this service, matter of speaking, right? So just familiarize yourself with these things and go to YouTube and listen to a 12-year-old, an 18-year-old, or a 20-year-old, or a 30-year-old, or an 80-year-old that's going to talk about whatever it is that they found that has serviced them using whatever tools that you want to get information on. So don't shy away from what you don't know. Just evolve. It's just part of life, and you'll see that there's some amazing things that you can discover. I remember when I first started my Facebook ad campaign, I didn't learn this by buying expensive courses. I went to YouTube, and then there was this young guy. He was about 26, 27, and he went into details on how to actually create an ad campaign to direct it to your Facebook Messenger. And I'm still using that today, even now as we speak, when I do my ad campaigns. And every day I get one or two different leads. But you know what I really love is the GotBackup, what do you call them? Program that the names are not coming in right now. The leads, Tammy, that you buy. What do you call it?
Co-op.
The co-op program. Thank you. I really love this.
Mhm.
In fact, yesterday, I just added a whole bunch of emails because, as you know, Tammy and I had an opportunity to spend some quality time with Joel. And Joel is a master with email marketing. And he said, Chris, it's important that when you get that list, of course, I bought, the emails that GotBackup prepared for me, and I changed some of the links so they connect to my social in my media details. My point here, he says, you got to be more personable, right? Share some pictures. You've done so many things over the years in a network marketing arena, and start posting these things. And I started doing that. And when you send an email to your audience, and I've been doing some trainings with quite a few leaders. And by the way, folks, in about 3 or 4 weeks, we're going to start doing trainings on how we're actually utilizing the email marketing system that GotBackup has, because it's so powerful. As you can tell that out of 116 email that I sent, 25 clicked. And when you click on that link, it opens up for about 7 days or 4 days, whatever. And then it tells you, oh, that person opened your email 5 times. Oh my God. Here's a person. He may not show an interest by responding to me, but if someone clicks your email 5 times, that's an indication there's an interest there, or at least there's something that maybe if you connect with them directly, you might be able to convert them. So there's a lot of neat little tricks that are coming our way that we're going to be sharing with you. So I wanted to extend that a little bit more because it's more than just social media. You also the email marketing campaigns that are there.
Yeah, and I noticed some of you put Telegram as well, Victor and Lee. Absolutely. There's so many platforms that you can leverage from. One of the things that I got some great results with, and I don't know if you're doing this, but if you're, for example, if you're not experienced on social media, pick one platform. Facebook is a relationship platform. Usually it's a good platform for people to start on, but you choose what you want to start. And I used to leave messages in Messenger, but then I switched to voice, and I got more results speaking to them than I did with the texting part. So try things. That's the thing. Try things and see how it's going to work for you in getting those connections. So I mean, there's no excuse. When I hear somebody say, "I don't know anybody," it's not even possible. So it's they're basically saying, "No, I'm not interested," right? I'm an introvert, and I've just never done this before or something. So it's in those conversations. But you can do this in any way, and I recommend to do it every way. Do those belly to belly connections, get uncomfortable. And if you're standing in the bank in the lineup, turn around and say hello to the person in the lineup. Anywhere, you leverage calls as much as you can. Texting, that's probably the fastest way of reaching people, for me anyways, is a quick text. "Hey John, how are you? It's been a while since we chatted." That's it. And then I get the conversation, right? So leverage the tools.
So Tammy, why don't you spend a bit of time on chatting on your target market? I'm going to turn this over to you. Go ahead.
Yeah, so if you want to screenshot this script, it's something that is, it creates a relativity with people. If you do have a target market, like for example, your target market could be, I'm just going to throw it out there, moms that are at home. I help stay-at-home moms just like you, creating that relativity to build a business that can give you some incredible financial rewards. And then you can start throwing stuff out there. So you can play with these scripts. Like I mentioned to you, I'm not a script person, but we're just kind of throwing stuff out there, stuff that I got from other people over the many, many, many years. Take a screenshot of this, really simple. But if you're a person that just needs a little bit of help on that initial connection on what to say, these are things that you can do, because people want to do business with people they can kind of relate to. A lot of people are like that, right? So that's when you can leverage this. If you happen to be talking to a real estate agent, I help real estate agents just like you to make extra money so that they can, live a stress-free life, especially when they're going through a low market. Because real estate agents, they go through low times in their markets, right? So you caught their attention. Now that you caught their attention, then you can bring them to why you're so excited about this. When you're talking to moms, a lot of moms, stay-at-home moms, are looking for a way to make some extra money. They don't have a lot of time, but they want to be able to support their family too. Sometimes the husbands are gone all the time because they're working so hard, but they have a goal in life is to be together with their family. Well, this is a way for them to generate some extra money so that they don't have to go to a job where they're away from their family and have to, pretty well, I can tell you, because that was me. I was spending so much money on, we call it daycare here in Canada, services that will take care of your kids, or basically raising your kids so that you can go make money to give the money back to them. When you think about it, it's crazy. Why not have a business where you can stay at home and watch your kids grow, and in between everything, you build a business part-time, right? Retired people, they're bored, you guys. They're bored. I get that they're not so tech savvy, but they want to make money. And some of them, are open to learn. You never know. So just, everybody you meet, try and create some relativity. That's why it's good to know a lot of people in GotBackup, because then you could go, oh my God, I could get this person on a third party call with that person. they're in the same career, or they're retired, or whatever the situation is. They're in the high tech industry. I just recently connected Chris with somebody who's a software engineer. Chris is past software engineer, right? So this is what you want to do. So just an example, these are the scripts, and you can go further, Chris. So you just create examples. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, and this is an example. You can do a screenshot of this here,
Yeah, it's the
and
same
it's
as the
just an
other one.
example for you
Mhm.
to gives you a starting point to create an opening statement to talk to, for example, someone that may be interested in the business aspect of things. Again, it's entirely up to you, right? And so the thing is, the next step from that point on is you always want to give people a task, right? If I do this, would you? For example, as you're doing the invitation and you're inviting someone to consider this or consider the opportunity or consider using the service, if I send you a link for you to have an idea, it's about a 5-minute video. So you can would you have time to look at it today? Don't say next week. By next week, they forgot your name. So this has to be done within 24 hours, maximum 48 hours. If they say, well, this week I can't, they say, okay, let's do this. Let me send it to you. What would be a good time for me to send that to you so we can follow up? Because I want to make sure that whenever I can answer your question, it is fresh in your mind. See, you got to give people a reason that makes sense as to why you want to create that sense of urgency. If I invite you to a virtual information session, would you attend? Every Wednesdays, the owner of the company will actually summarize the business and actually share with you a little bit of the server and the environment where the data is actually sitting and all the security and everything else. They're going to share with you a little bit of an opportunity. Or many of us are doing presentations. I know Tammy and I are going to do one on Tuesday, and it's going to be at 1 o'clock Eastern time. I know we have many time zones here today, but within the emails, and it's all in there. My point here is, if I send that, would you attend? Or if I send you a short video, would you watch it? Right? Then ask them, how would you like to receive the invitation? You prefer a video link? You prefer text, email, WhatsApp, Messenger, or Telegram? In fact, I use Telegram when I feed our groups, because Telegram has really no limit. When I say no limit, is I can have up 200,000 members, which I don't think I'll ever fill a group like that. My point is, there's no limit. Where WhatsApp has 400. Right now we have 418 people. There's 600 more, and that's it. If I would be WhatsApp, now I have to create a second group. I don't want to deal with that. That's the reason why I use Telegram. And Telegram has a lot of little perks and things that are kind of cool that WhatsApp doesn't have. My point here is, ask them what's the best platform to use. Okay. So this is, again, the next step to get people to watch the information. Back to you, Tammy.
Yeah. So what to send people is simple. You want to get as many people on the live presentations. That is critical. Even if you're not in these time zones, you want to make sure that people are going to get on them. We try to do extra ones, like Chris said. We do extra ones to catch people with different time zones. So leverage, leverage, leverage. Stay plugged into the core groups. There's always going to be messages on presentations that are coming up. So invite, 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 and keep inviting. Even if they don't show up, send it again, send it again. And then you'll see eventually they will catch one of these presentations. And that's how you build your business, is leveraging the live sessions, especially Wednesday. Actually, Friday, Mark does a really great job on Fridays too. But Wednesday night, the CEO of the company presenting, that's so powerful. Leverage, leverage, leverage.
Absolutely. And that's what's important, folks. And there might be some presentation you might connect more than others, and that's totally cool. Like Tammy says, Mark is doing one on Friday at 11 o'clock Eastern time, I believe. And then from there, I know that Noel does a French one on Sunday. And like I said, Tammy and I are starting an English one on Tuesday at 1 p.m. So again, folks, just plug into one of those presentation. It is just as cell phone away. The richest people in the world look and build networks. Everyone else looks for job. Every time I look at the politics, it kind of makes me laugh because the whole point of enriching their brand is we'll create more job, we'll create more job, we'll create more job. But the problem is the job is just over broke. It's not going to help you. It's just going to keep you at float just to be able to follow the rules, right? The fact here is you got to think like an entrepreneur, right? These are people like Robert, right? Robert Kiyosaki and many others, right? John C. Maxwell, that is strong on leadership. Educate yourself with stuff that will build you up, not stuff that will enslave you, excuse me the expression, but to the environment of our economy today with a ball and a chain around your foot that limits you at every aspect of your life. This is annoying. And that's the reason why so many people are depressed, because they feel there's no way out. But folks, there is a way out. That's what network marketing brings to the table, with a company that everybody can afford, with a service that everyone needs. So Temi, as we end this presentation, let's talk a little bit about an assignment, and then we'll show them a tool that we have available.
Absolutely. Yeah, we love to work with assignments. And, we all grew up to be told what to do. So, we see this in job environments. We see this in the school, parenting, all of this stuff is people need that guideline for them to move. Now, leaders, on the other hand, they just do it. You don't have to tell any leader what to do. So if you want to get at that level, you want to start doing, and not wait to be told how to build a business, what to do. Just initiate. Like, for example, Chris, some people say, well, I don't know how to use the back office. And I said, well, neither did I. So what I did was I went in and I clicked on the welcome video. I clicked on the compensation video. I had to watch it a couple times. I clicked on this. And by the time, I went through all of it, I got a good understanding of the back office, but nobody told me how to do it. And that's what I'm saying. Like, leadership, they just initiate and do the work. So building up to that, have some guidelines, right? And you'll have to do this sometimes with your new people who need that guideline. So I always say, invite at least 2 to 5 people, but don't limit yourself. If you've talked to 5 people, don't say, oh, okay, I got my 5 and walk away, right? I'm done for the day. No, talk to more people. If you want to grow and build momentum in your organization, do the numbers. That's what leaders do. They do the numbers. They have vision. They know they're going to be Black Diamond, and they just do the numbers. They don't even think about it. They just go and do the numbers and sign, and then get their people duplicating. Okay, so this is kind of a guideline. There is a tracking sheet that, Chris, are you putting the tracking sheet there? You got that to show
Actually,
them?
I'm doing better than that. What I did here, and let me just kind of switch to the last slide here.
And the last one was to connect with your leader regularly. This is important. Don't wait for your leaders to chase you. Honestly, don't wait for people to chase you. You need to ask for help with your leader, and to show him a sheet like this. I mean, that's how we've always worked and mentored with our team. If this sheet has got numbers, they're doing stuff. And we can actually guide them to increase their skill set and their mindset when we see this sheet. So that's when you know how well your team is doing, when you see the numbers there.
Yeah, sorry, Tammy. So what I did here, when he talks about the Google presentation, there was a question as to how can I take a picture with my cell phone? Well, I did something for you here. Is we put in the actual slides, so you can just take the slide, you can save it or screen share or screen save or whatever it is that you want to do. You can take a picture with your cell phone if that's better for you, whatever that may be. And the other thing too is that link here that I just posted is actually pointing to the inviting training. And in there, you'll notice that you have the inviting Google Slides that we just presented here today. You also have the action report. This is what it is. So you would put your name and the week of your report. As you know, GotBackup pays every week. What was your active members on your left team and on your right team? currently right now? What was it last week? So you can have an eye on the growth that's happening in your business. What is your income goal for this week? Do you want to make a couple $100? Do you like to make 1,500 bucks? I mean, that'll be awesome. Making $1,500 a week, right? My personal development activity this week, my strong skills. What are my habits? What are my skills? What am I good at doing? Right? The skills of habits that I want to improve. What do I need to improve upon? Steps I need to take. And then below, you'll notice where it says money making activities is okay. How many contacts did you make Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday? And then to the total. So when someone says, this is not working for me, well, I'm going to ask them to fill this form. Because if they say this is not working for me, but they keep me blindsided on what they're doing, how can I possibly be helped? Because if these totals are all at zeros, well, no wonder, bud. That's what's going on here. You need to talk to more people. And that's just facts. That's the way things are. So Tammy and I here, we did this training here because we want you to have access to the information that we believe can help you really build your business. And folks, you need to understand that it's not luck. It's not, oh, these guys came at the beginning. In fact, the beginning is never good because it's not this, you're not in momentum. You have to create the momentum. And once you're in momentum, to maintain momentum, you have to be consistent and congruent and sometimes even increase the activities. And you need to serve. You know, the people that think, well, you're my upline, you're making money from me. Well, I can tell you that if your upline makes money from you, it's because they're working. Remember, you don't make money from one person underneath you. It's a combination of the right side, the left side, and all the activities that they do, which is based on the activities that you do, and everything is duplicated. So nobody makes big money in network marketing being lazy. I assure you that. So the fact here is every single one of you can be very successful. It's up to you to make the decision to be where you want to be and not where you have to be based on your current situation. So tell me, as we end this call, you want to finish with a few words and we'll end on this note.
Invite. That's the bottom line. Spend all of your time, especially if you're new. Spend all of your time doing the prospecting, inviting, following up, introducing your leaders to your prospects, and do this over and over and over and again. Those of you who have teams that are developing, remember you need to spend some of that time grooming your leaders. So that is the 80-20 rule. 80% of your time building your business, 20% of your time working with your grooming your leaders in your organization. So you know what you need to do. Just go out and do it and have some fun doing it as well.
Okay, everybody, have yourself a great week. We'll chat with you. Well, if you're going to be sharing joining us on our presentation, we'll be there on Tuesday. I know Dr. Keoway is doing other presentations during the week. Those of you that are part of a Telegram group, you're very welcome to follow everything we do. And if you're not, just stay tuned because we often also post into the GotBackup Facebook private group. So we try to do everything we can to make the information as available as possible. So everybody, have yourself a wonderful, wonderful week, and always keep your head up and always think on what you want and not what you don't want. And I assure you, your life will be impacted just with that. So everybody have a great one, and bye for now.
Love you guys. Have a great weekend.
Bye-bye.